Hello and welcome back everybody to the 2018 Collegiate Starlet Grand Finals here in Huntington Beach. We just got through the first half of the day with some Dota 2 semifinals, and now it is finally time for some CSGO. We'll be jumping into the CSGO semifinal in just a second, but I did want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, iBuyPower, Zowie, Juice Battery, UMV Studios, as well as Twitch Talent. None of us would be here without you, so a huge shout out and thank you to all of you. Now, as I mentioned, it is time for our first CSGO semifinal of the day. It is going to be between Virginia, Commonwealth, and Robert Morris. Let's head over to our casters, Dust and Blue.
Thank you very much, Sue. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be bringing you the action here for the collegiate finals of the CSL. How you doing today, Dust?
Oh, doing great, man. It's going to be great. We're going to be doing some college CSGO. We've had 88 teams across North America compete. Now we're down to our final 4, and they're competing for a $30,000 prize pool. That's a nice chunk of change to play some college esports.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, our first match that we're going to be bringing you here today, we have Virginia Commonwealth going up against RMU. Let's talk about what these two teams bring to the table here, Dust.
Yeah, so Robert Morris absolutely dominated their way to this point. This is a team that has always been kind of at the forefront of esports, one of the first universities to really embrace the idea of supporting esports on campus, and this team absolutely blitzed through the regular season. They only dropped 1 game in the entirety of the fall and spring seasons, and then in the playoffs they had 2-0 series throughout the entirety of the online playoffs, and every player on this Robert Morris team has at least played at a main level in ESEA. Several of their players have played in Mountain Dew League or the new advanced league that's coming out now between Maine and MBL, the new league. So lots of, I guess more experienced players on this Robert Morris team.
And of course, they've been working hard to get ready for this final, folks. We do have a little bit of an interview with them to show off and just how they were getting ready for these semifinals here today.
Hey guys, Mahone here. I'm with RMU. I'll let you guys introduce yourself by name and alias.
I'm Jacob Spermionen.
I'm Riley Reality Push.
Austin AWOL Wilson.
Andy Lennox Collins. Liam Wilshie Newhouse.
All right, so you guys made it to the top 4, and tell me about how the playoff bracket kind of went for you guys. Like, was it easy? Was it hard? Did you go easier than expected? Tell me your thoughts.
I'd say that we definitely expected to breeze through it pretty easily. We didn't expect any competition until we actually got to finals.
Yeah.
We started off slow in the beginning, like first map every time, but found our footing, and every single time just kind of brought it back and went ham from there.
So how do you guys feel about your chances against VCU here in the semifinal?
We've already beat them in playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Just keep it like that.
All right, so some individual questions for you guys. So Spermy, obviously you were on a team that won Maine season 26, and you guys you played MDL last season as well. How do you feel like that experience is going to kind of help you in this setting here for?
Yeah, so with that experience, it helps playing against higher level teams, and when you play against higher level teams in CSL, since you have that experience, you know how to kind of predict things, how things are going to go, how they're going to change up their setups and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely a plus that I learned after playing a season in MDL. You have to adjust to what happens because everyone's going to throw different things at you all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So Lennox and Welshie, you guys, this is your second season of collegiate here, and obviously both of you guys have played a bunch of Maine, IM, and even Lennox played MDL with Czech 6 for a little bit. So how does playing collegiate compare to playing ESEA?
I think the bottom tier of collegiate is kind of like playing a lower level of like ESEA, but when you get to teams like Baruch as well as UBC, you kind of get a little like upper tier main to like where premier players are in, so the competition becomes a lot harder.
Yeah. Welshie, your
You
thoughts
have
on
to like actually start playing slow and trying against those types of teams and stuff like that.
Do you guys feel like you really had to play more regularly when you play against like these higher tier teams, or do you kind of just?
Yeah, we have to play like strict and more disciplined when we play against the higher level teams than we do when we play like most of the teams in CSL.
Alright, so reality, obviously you're new to this RMU squad. Can you explain a little bit about how you chose or why you chose RMU and how did the recruitment process kind of go?
I found RMU at a Wichita State LAN. I was there with a different team and they came as RMU, saw them, and their coach kind of like scouted me out and said I should look into getting a scholarship for playing Counter-Strike at RMU. Followed the process and came here.
Awesome. All right, so AWOL, you've been with RMU for a while, pretty much since the start.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this RMU squad compared to all the others? And do you feel like this is a year where you guys are going to take it?
Well, yeah, definitely. I think this is our best chance. Strongest squad we've had so far. Strong leadership from everybody. Just the overall talent on the squad is, you can't match it to our previous lineup. So I think this is without a doubt our best year to go for it.
All right, awesome. So with that, I'll let you guys do you guys have any final shout-outs?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out Eden, everybody at home.
Family watching. Yeah, family and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to family and friends. Whoever tunes in.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so that's going to do it, folks. There you have it, the Robert Morris University team getting ready now to play in their match. And we can take a look at their lineup as well. And just remind you guys one more time who exactly is going to be who onto this team as we try and get them up onto the screen as soon as possible. First, I got AWOL, Lennox, Reality, Spermy, and Welsh. Who are the standout players here, Dust, looking at the roster?
Yeah, so Spermy currently competes in the Mountain Dew League, so certainly a player that has experience outside of collegiate esports and playing at a semi-professional level. I know Lennox has also played MDL in the past and currently plays in the new advanced division that's coming out. That's going to be between Maine and Mountain Dew League in the ESCA system. Welshie's in that exact same spot playing in the advanced league next season. And every player on this team has at least played Maine, so even going to guys like AWOL and Reality, people who have been able to compete at a pretty high level, not at the professional level, but still, working their way up there on the ladder. Certainly not, complete, nobodies to the game. Certainly have worked their way up the ladder in the amateur leagues, and so definitely a lot of experience on this team in comparison to some of the other university teams.
Yeah, now talking about some more facts about this team as well. We'll see if we can bring that up onto the board. And here we go. Let's see what we got here. Continually improved over the years, and like we saw there before, last year they got very close. They made it to this stage of the league itself, and sadly dropped out there. And now they're looking to make it one step further to get into the grand finals.
Yeah, you look at that 12-1 record, only dropped one map the entirety of the regular season. They 2-0'd all their playoff matches. And yeah, they were just in the finals of the AVGL, the other big college league right now. And they narrowly lost. That was a best-of-5 series that went all 5 maps. The maps were quite close. They lost to York, actually, out of Canada at that event. So they're looking to get a title here. And again, get the lion's share of a $30,000 prize pool. And RMU is certainly one of the favorites to do that next to the likes of, the City University of New York, Baruch, which we'll see in the next semifinal. Certainly the favorites in this series. Again, good amount of experience given the players that they have, and we definitely expect them to do well here.
All right, guys, and now let's start talking about Virginia Commonwealth, who they had quite an interesting story to make it here. So let's go ahead and take a look at their interview and see how they are working to get prepared for this tournament.
Hey guys, Mahone here. I'm with VCU. You guys obviously made it to the top 4. First off, can you guys introduce yourselves by your alias, your name?
Charles, Chaz.
I'm Daniel, Blair.
Austin, aka the Riders.
Anton, Sigis, VTW.
Rahul.
All right, so you guys made it to the top 4. Obviously, it was a bit of a blunder with the, Binghamton situation. How did you guys feel, in terms of, your bracket? How did it go? How did the matches go, essentially?
I think that when we looked at the bracket originally, I thought if we played how we usually do, it wouldn't be a problem. Unfortunately, we weren't on our game that day, and we lost to CNU. Binghamton. But after that, it was sort of funny when we got the email that we were going to play UCSD again, or have to play them for LAN.
Yeah.
None of us had really played that week, only 1 or 2 of us had, so it was...
Yeah. So did you guys practice at all before, when you guys found out you were playing UCSD again?
Yeah, it was just the night before and then the day of.
Yeah. So in general, how are you guys feeling about your opponents here? You guys going to be playing RMU in the semifinals?
Well, we're going to respect them as opponents, and it's definitely going to be an exciting game. And I don't want to sort of guarantee anything, but it's just going to be one of those on Sunday when you're about to watch football, NFL, and you just want to see a good game. It's going to be one of those.
Yeah. All right, so I have a few individual questions for you guys. So, Chaz and CJ, you guys played on the team last year, right? And you guys are the only 2 returning members, if I recall. So, how did you guys find all these other players for this team? What was the process like?
I actually played with Daniel 2 years ago in Open or IM, and so I knew him. I think Anton found him in Pirates.
Rahul actually messaged me on Facebook. He had contacts with the esports club at our school, and then he found me. And it was a really struggle because we scouted him just because he's nuts. But it was just me, Chaz, and him, and we had no other guarantees about people returning. And so it was just the three of us, and we had we had these visions. We had these two main players that were really good at the game, but we didn't have another two players. And a friend of mine from judo club, who was in my calculus class last year, went to high school with him. Wow. And he texted me and he gave me his phone number, so then I texted him, so that was a real blessing. But then we still only had 4. And then he found me on Facebook and was like, hey, I want to try out for the team. So it was a really stressful time in terms of trying to find people, because we had, these two nuts guys, and I was like, I need 2 more people to carry me, so here we are.
That's awesome.
8 months later.
Yeah. So Virus, obviously you played some ESCA main before, so how does playing collegiate compare to that?
Well, back then main was it was a lot harder than it was now, but I think everyone in the top 4 is all has main experience, premier experience, so it's probably on par with it. Definitely once you get to the top.
Yeah. So for Blur and Raul, you guys both came into the team this year, so how's your experience been so far playing on the squad?
It's been nice. I mean, I'm all good friends with them. We all hang out all the time outside of the game.
Like Daniel said, we all hang out, we're all friends. For me personally, it was a little difficult because my only experience with CS before joining this competitive scene thing was just plugging on ESCA or just playing matchmaking with friends. So it's a lot different.
Yeah. So in particular to you, since you're so active on Discord with Div0 and Div-S, how's it been? How's the overall collegiate experience been for you? Just because, like you said, it's been playing competitively pretty new for you, right?
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely something I want to see go further, grow bigger. It's really well. I like it.
Yeah. All right. So, do you guys have any last shoutouts?
Shout out to Alexander F.
Yeah, sub,
Yeah.
Shout out to Duran just because he asked me to.
All right. Duran. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thanks.
And there's your short little introduction, ladies and gentlemen, to the Virginia Commonwealth. And now we can take a look at their roster, see who exactly they've brought here to the finals to try and qualify for the grand finals, of course, and as Dust was mentioning, try to take home that lion's share of the $30,000 prize pool. We've got Ake the Virus, Blur. Who else do we have on the team here, Dust?
Sigas, Chaz, and Luhar. And Chaz and AK the Virus are 2 players to keep an eye on for this team. They have also both played in the ESCA main division, so kind of on par with some of the lineup of the Robert Morris team over there on the other side of the stage. The other 3 players, though, a little bit less experienced. Maybe only have played open or intermediate or something like that, so maybe a little bit behind, so to speak, when it comes to player experience compared to the likes of Robert Morris. So this team is definitely going to be really reliant on guys like Chaz and AK the Virus, who I've actually watched play a little bit online, definitely looked like skilled players, but they're going to be the 2 guys that this team's really going to count on.
All right, awesome. We can get some facts up on the screen about the team as well. See what's interesting about them. And let's see what we have here.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about college esports is because a lot of these players play on different teams, like Robert Morris, for example, play on different MDL teams and such, a lot of their practice time is maybe spent kind of really focusing on playing with their respective teams in MDL or whatever league they're playing in. And so it's a lot of a balancing act between, practicing with your college team as well as practicing with maybe your team you're playing with amateur leagues in. And so this is a team that has maybe put in a little bit more time than some of the other universities. And certainly they were a team that struggled to get here, though, is worth noting. They originally didn't make it, but then their opponent got DQ'd in the round of 8 in the playoffs. Those dirty cheaters, those guys. And so they wound up getting another chance to get back in, and were able to make it here to the finals at the end of the day. And they've also made the playoffs both seasons that this team has been a part of the league. So that's certainly good news in that regard. So they're hoping to maybe get a little bit of a deep run going here.
Yeah, so basically them and RMU basically getting to the same exact point in the playoffs so far throughout the last 2 years, and now both fighting each other to make it one step further. It's fitting in a way, of course, that we see them both trying to push towards those grand finals and their chance to take home the championship this season. And the map veto has already gone off as of a few minutes ago, so we can bring that up as well. Looks like things ended up going down to our first map pick being over on Mirage, Train, and Overpass. Then to follow that up to wrap up this best of 3. And again, important to mention, this is going to be a best of 3 here during the semifinals. This first of 2 will take home the victory and move forward into the grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, again, it's really hard to know too much about these teams' map pools because pretty much all of these teams, or at least these 2 teams we have on stage, both only dropped maybe like 1 or 2 maps the entire season and the entire playoffs. And they played every map in the pool roughly an equal amount. So it's really hard to know like what their best map is, what their second best map is. I mean, their records are all very similar across the board. So certainly these teams should be happy playing Mirage, I think. I think that's kind of common ground. Both teams have played a decent amount in the regular season. It's obviously a map that's pretty basic almost on the surface, so a lot of teams are able to kind of pug it or have like loose strategy for it. So I think Mirage will be funny. Train, on the other hand, is a map that takes a little bit more tactically. I think that's going to be maybe where you kind of separate these 2 teams as far as how much preparation practice they have, which I think RMU's a little bit more seasoned on Train. And I think RMU's looking to get the 2-0 obviously here, being the favorites coming into the series. But again, hard to read too much into the pick ban.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Train would have been RMU's map pick if I'm looking at our Vita sheet here correctly, with VCU getting the first map pick if indeed it did go back and forth. And obviously the last one also kind of being the decision of RMU as well. But Overpass and Train, generally 2 very difficult maps for teams to really get good cohesion going on, especially from an IGL perspective. It's a very disciplined map that you have to try and prepare yourself for. So I'm surprised we see very difficult maps like this coming into the map pool and not seeing some of the other ones, like even Cash I was kind of expecting to get thrown out there. We didn't end up seeing that into the pool, so that was kind of surprising for me.
Yeah, each team picking the map they won the most in the season. So it was the VCU team that was 4-0 on Mirage throughout the regular season and the online playoffs, so they picked that. Robert Morris was 4-0 on Train. So each team basically getting their best map, I guess you could say, out of their picks. And then the third map is actually a random out of the last 3 maps remaining after you do the bans and picks, and so that was randomly drawn as Overpass, which is a map that both teams have, I guess maybe played the least amount compared to the rest of the map pool, but, they won their games on the map. But again, it's so hard to know when the sample size is so small, and the fact that none of these teams have like a permaban that they never played throughout the season, right? Like they pretty much have played every map in the pool between like 1 and 4 times, basically.
And we should clarify as well for you folks at home that might be curious about this. We did not switch up the map pools for this event because of the recent changeover to Dust 2 that happened in the professional map pool. We did stick with Cobblestone for this one. So Cobblestone remained into the map pool for this instance. Dust 2 was left out under these circumstances. But it does look like, ladies and gentlemen, the first map is ready to go. So let us jump into the knife round here and take a look at which team is going to get their side choice to start off.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mirage is a map where I feel like you can usually feel pretty comfortable on either side of the map. Like, I don't think that side choice on this map necessarily is that big of a deal, but it may just be that some teams are a little bit more comfortable starting out on a side where you feel like you're a little bit more comfortable, get a little bit of momentum. I always prefer starting CT side first because I think it's easier when you go into a second half situation as Terrace where it's a little bit easier to force buy and you know how many rounds you need to get, you know how much you need to force buy to be able to get there. I think that gives you a slight edge starting CT side first in that regard, but in general I think this is a map where it's not like super, biased towards CT or T.
Well, VCU did win the knife round, so they should be getting their side choice, and from the look of it, looks like they're going to be starting off T-side, actually, which, again, at this level, I wouldn't say is super surprising, considering that the T-side, under certain circumstances, can be a little bit easier to jump into at the beginning of the map, especially if you win the pistol and kind of get a little bit of mobility rolling right off the bat. We're going to see, of course, if they are going to be able to get that, as the game is now live. So let's find out which of these 2 teams will get an advantage to start off.
Yeah, we do see the bomb actually making its way over to B apartments, but being dropped outside, not committed in to it. We did see one player head over towards A, maybe throw a little bit of a nade over that direction to try to at least keep the 2 A players in place, kind of make them, be honest about it and not cheat in early rotation. And they do have 2 smokes. I imagine these are the smokes that are going to block out Cubby on Catwalk. That's been a real big part of the meta lately in CSGO. Is B executes where you smoke what would be called like the get right position, as well as the entrance of Catwalk into the site, which just isolates players in the site from any type of cat rotation. And so I think that's what those 2 smokes are going to wind up being. And they also have 4 flashbangs available as well. So they're just going to hit this site with a lot of utility and hope for the best, basically.
Well, VCU ready to move in now. Very slow execute as far as pistol rounds are concerned, so I'm sure RMU are going to get a little bit jumpy here in a few minutes, considering that they haven't seen anything just yet. But even VCU, putting maybe some second thoughts.
Yeah, they don't
into
have
this.
any information, by the way. Like, they've been very passive on both sites, and they've just been kind of spotting middle from window room. So they actually have no idea what they're up against. So they haven't been able to get any type of early rotations or get any real read on what VCU is doing. And so, yeah, VCU. The crazy thing is they have to be worried that someone may have pressed A and could flank them. And now there is, in fact, a mid-push going on from RMU for a little bit of information. So that's something that VCU needs to be a little bit worried about in these mind games.
Well, Virginia trying their best to pull off a bit of a Jedi mind trick here. And
now I'm starting to wonder if maybe
it's
because we're having to restart the round.
Looks like it.
You know, they had me on the edge of my seat for a second. Like, man, this is a real slow play. This is a slow build. You know, a slow build, like a long joke in a stand-up routine.
It was looking like it was a bit of a Jedi mind trick there were too, because they didn't have all the CTs rotating off B side and everything like that. I was looking like it would work, but okay, maybe not the case. It looks like we had a player disconnect, so that is why.
The old disconnect.
That is why we had to cancel that round. So we are going to be restarting it in just a second. Sides, everything like that should be remaining the same.
They run the same tactic. Yeah. It's like throwing rock twice and rock, paper, scissors, man. It's a scumbag move, but it can work.
Absolutely. So we'll just wait to get that fixed really quickly. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue to get him reconnected to the server, and then we can just restart the pistol and to continue on with the action, ladies and gentlemen. For those ones of you that may just be sitting down here in the arena, or tuning in from home, it's Virginia Commonwealth up against Robert Morris University. This is the semifinals for the Collegiate Star League.
Absolutely. Again, a $30,000 prize pool. I think $10,000 goes to first place, and the rest gets distributed between all the rest of the playoff teams. So definitely a nice chunk of change to be able to take home in a collegiate esports setting, especially after just a couple of days of offline play here in the beautiful Huntington Beach, California.
Have you been enjoying your time?
I have, man. I've only been to SoCal a couple of times in my life, and every time I've come, it's been an enjoyable experience. So lots of good food, good weather, all that good stuff.
That's good to hear. It's very good to hear. For me, it's an hour drive south, so
you get to experience it every day.
Now the weather's a little bit different down here. It's a little bit cooler because I'm up in the valley, so we don't get as much wind.
Yeah,
we don't get as much wind.
Your 70 degrees here feels way different than my 70 degrees where I live.
That's true.
It's like it's crazy. It's the same temperature, but because of like humidity and stuff like that,
we don't have any
it's a
humidity.
nightmare where I live. Here, it's like I packed a bunch of shorts and T-shirts because I thought, oh, I'm going to Cali, like 70-something degrees.
Oh,
be
no,
great. No, I actually had to like wear jeans and a hoodie the other day.
It's
I
still
was like,
spring.
man,
You're at the beach. It's windy.
Yeah, true. So, anyway.
So you do have to pay mind to that. Well, once again, guys, still working on the issues here. Still working on getting one of our players. I think he's over on the Virginia side, getting reconnected into the server. And then once we do have that, there should be no further delay in getting things started. Our first map here, once again, is Mirage, soon to be followed up by Train as the second, and Overpass as the third, which was selected via random draw between Nuke, Cash, and Overpass.
Exactly, and again, Robert Morris does come into this as the favorite, but Mirage here is the pick of VCU. They were very successful on Mirage throughout the regular season and throughout the online playoffs. And again, they have a couple of heavy hitters on this team. Again, keep your eyes out for Chaz and AKA the Virus over on the side of VCU. Then for Robert Morris, again, their lineup's super experienced just in general. Every player on that team's at least competed in the ESEA main. Some of their players have played in MDL or the Advanced League that's coming out now from ESEA. So definitely a plethora of experience on that side. And again, they are the ones favored here, but we'll see if VCU can give them a fight. Particularly Mirage, probably their best chance to do that.
And just to mention as well here, that does just give credence to the scouting efforts from RMU to being able to bring such a high-caliber team together into their own university. Things working out for them that way. So now we have to see if that all ends up coming true, if all that scouting work and preparation and building the team once they actually got them into the university, whether it's going to lead to a success for them to be able to try and take a victory here at the CSL League. Or I guess that would be arbitrary to say. League twice there, but just the CSL. Anyway, guys, it's looking like we are pretty close to getting back in. In fact, there it is. We're jumping right back into the match now. So it is, once again, the Virginia Commonwealth going up against RMU. Now, this is the pistol round. Let's find out if the Eagles will have something to start off with on the CT side on their pistol, or if Virginia will once again be able to come out on top. with very similar strats. Look like they're going to try the same exact thing, actually, that they tried in the previous
Indeed.
iteration of this.
It was the pump fake, but it's still coming the same way. It's the exact same setup, but we did see a little bit of an upper B apartments push. So a little bit of information gained over from the RMU side. At least know that there are a couple of players up there. May still not know that it's this particular execute and it's that many numbers, because there were a couple still kind of towards the back of mid that were not showing themselves in the apartments. And now we do see AWOL here still jump spotting it and does have a flash ready for a counter as they make the execute come through. But I think that this is going to be a pretty successful strat from VCU, given their positioning and utility, unless someone goes off from RMU or they start to make a rotation here soon. But here comes the smokes, and here comes, it's going to block off Catwalk, and they're going to try to isolate this site.
AWOL taking up the corner position here right behind bench, so he's probably going to be cleared pretty quickly if they check for him. But no, he's able to hold on for one pickup. Looking for a second, sadly, is going to get overwhelmed as two more trades come out from the VCU side of things. Len still able to hold back over here on Cap, but he's actually out of ammo. Chaz runs into the same problem, however, and Lennox will eventually get the kill there. Blur to find another one, leaves Spermy now alone for the CT side. Nice tap to deal some damage, but he needs kills, not damage at this point in time. And now the T's will refuse to give him anything else. Blur executes on the last peak, and VCU take the pistol and the opening round of this series.
Yeah, again, this B execute in particular has really become a staple in the meta of even professional Counter-Strike, where you've been seeing teams like to spin those two smokes over on Catwalk near where the cubby is, or what some people call get right, as well as the cat entrance into the bomb site. And it really just blocks out anyone from being able to rotate from middle or Catwalk to help with any type of retake or assist in the site defense itself. And so it's a really good way to isolate B, especially if there's no one pushing middle or A early to flank you. You get a really good timing, and you're able to get the numbers advantage, and VCU does use that quite well. Now they will upgrade all their players. Some Eagles coming out. Only one CZ comes out from the RMU side, so that is not typical of what you normally see on CT sides.
All in force, however, from RMU in order to get these pistols out onto the table. Exception of Welshi, of course, as he, I would believe, would be saving for the op at this point in time. We'll go without armor. The rest of them do put armor behind their Deagle purchases. Spermy, however, is the first to get eliminated. But after his elimination, this does allow for the CTs to get rather aggressive, pushing forward in the backhauls there. But the other issue is going to be, unless they can catch the bomb out here towards spawn, which they actually successfully pick up. Welshi finds a nice frag there to drop the bomb, but everyone else from VCU is going to move in quickly to attempt to retrieve this. Rahul ends up in a bad spot, though, knocked out by AWOL. AK the Virus also is going to end up running into Lennox now, bringing the T's down to only 2 players, and with RMU still having strong control over the bomb currently. Oh, big mistake from AWOL, though. Walks out into the open, gives Chaz the opening he needs to tie it back up into a 2v2 again. And this is going to move in, tries to retrieve the bomb, but he gets taken down, and Welshi will finish things up for RMU as they tie it now at 1-1.
Indeed, those pesky pistols coming out. Really well done here from RMU. They will immediately tie it up. And now we're one of those scrappy beginnings to a game where it's just going to be relentless force buys until someone wins 2 rounds in a row and force the other to concede. Or, okay, VCU will actually be very conservative here and actually go for 4 Glocks and a P250, no armor, no utility. This is definitely strange. Normally you just see teams keep clashing with force buys, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to waste this round away to get the money.
Molly's going to go directly into the apartments, which pretty much should end this round, as you guys at home would expect. 4 quick kills coming out for RMU, and there's the 5th to secure their 2nd round, as they'll take the early lead here at 2-1. As you said, the save coming in from VCU, meaning we could see the force buy on this round if they would decide to do it. More than likely they won't, but if they want to try something a little bit different, this would be the round to do it. However, oh no, there's the buy, so they're going to go in here.
Yeah, again, they actually full saved last round, which is against the norm. Again, the metas usually just keep force buying until someone wins 2 in a row. But they went for the conservative full save, and this means they can get the AK armor buy here, as well as one with the Galil. But Welshi gonna push middle, catches Chaz. So they have the man advantage. They have Reality playing a very safe position here. He can call, he can get that rotation through connector, and they'll try to defend this execute.
He's going to go down on the ground here too. Welshi looking for the push forward. He does drop the bomb successfully, but can't maintain. Rahul taking him down just a moment later. For AWOL, also stuck in the ladder position. He's going to wait for additional support to come in from Ticket, but he does have another one backing up. Smoked out, though, as VCU complete their control, but Reality, nice spam coming in through the smoke. Does great damage to Rahul as well, bringing him down to just 38 HP. Now Blur looking to try and help him out, isolate this Ticket player, and look for a way to knock him out, but the moment just not being able to find it, even having to try and go for fake plants to bait this player into the open, but it's just not working. Finally, they do catch another CT. Blur gets himself into the battle over by Connector, but the CTs really commit to their push to drop the bomb, and they'll succeed in picking up the last 2 kills to now find their 3rd consecutive round.
Yeah, really done by Welsh to get that early pick middle, get that early intel. Smart for Reality, be playing over towards Ticket. not allowing himself to get isolated in the site and being stranded from his team who was trying to make maneuvers elsewhere. Just kind of holds back. VCU does trade back into a 3 versus 3, but RMU able to win out that situation without losing any more players. And now they're really starting to get their economy established. VCU, on the other hand, having to go for a low buy here. 3 CZs. There's only 1 player with armor. They're just going to try to pour out a palace. Spermy misses his smoke, but again, superior firepower here for RMU. And all these players unarmored on VCU, they should be just tearing through them like a wet paper bag.
VCU just going to roll right in and try to force the plant to the best of their capabilities here. And for reality, well, he's actually going to get run over. Didn't realize Rahul got up to his ticket box position that quickly. So the T's actually pretty rapidly taking control of the site. And Rahul now with an AK, he's able to pick up a second kill. The problem is, though, 2 other teammates still working with pretty lackluster weaponry. AWOL looking for the way to finally knock him out and succeeds in doing so. As the last 2 are down to just these pistols. Spermy's in a bad spot, though. He's going to get caught out by AK the Virus. And now it's down to 1 from the T side, but he holds on. AK with another pickup, looking for 1 more to finalize the 1v3 clutch. Sure, he gets so close as well. Lennox will take him down, and RMU will find their 4th.
Dude, that was a super expensive round from RMU. That's the round where you feel like you should be building your money up. You should be getting that bankroll. You're up against a team with no armor. They shouldn't even get a bomb plant, really. Like, as long as you have your crosshair trained, you should be able to stop that spill out. But VCU gets it down to a 1 versus 1 and gets the bomb plant, which the plant was all they really wanted. Everything else is just kind of icing on the cake. So they will now have a really good buy. They will see Surrogates finally being able to get the AWP out and play. Of course, Welshie going to have it here on the defense. They're going to go for something different on RMU. They're pushing 2 players through Catwalk and the 3rd anchoring the B-bomb side. So definitely looking to try to be a little bit dynamic on their CT side. And Linux, he's got a gap on this smoke he might be able to use to catch someone crossing to that mid box, and he does get some damage off, but is forced to retreat.
Now, RMU in general are going to get pushed out of mid quite heavily, but Spermy, look at him. He still has a tiny, angle to play with inside of the window, but AK the Virus will be able to destroy him, knocking him out of the situation before he can find anyone else from the T side. So opening advantage will go over to VCU, and off of this kill, they are going to continue to move forward, take further mid control. Welshie trying to find an angle to hit one of these guys, but with that smoke in the way, he's not going to be able to do anything. More of the T's will move into further position to execute on A, and there's another pickup coming in from AK the Virus. Lennox gets out in the open to trade, but he himself also gets knocked down just a second later. The molly from Chaz is good. It's going to force a player out, but he doesn't notice it, so Reality picks up a kill, but again, safely for VCU. It's only a 1-for-1 exchange, and with AWOL back on the other side of the map, I think we're looking at a pretty safe bet for this round to go over to VCU.
Yeah, VCU just going for some standard mid control. They push back those 2 players, trying to be aggressive on the catwalk pretty early on in the round, established themselves in middle, caught some favorable trades, particularly towards the A side of the map. 3 players involved in that, AK the Virus being one of them. Again, that's one of those guys to watch out for next to Chaz on this team, the 2 more experienced players for VCU. And AK the Virus that round comes up with 2, and he's up to 7 total for the half. And he'll put a 2nd round on the board for the Virginia team. So that is another round for the Rams. Starting to try to get this game a little bit closer here early on, not letting RMU roll away with this.
Yeah, AWOL is going to remain perfectly safe, though. VCU, I imagine their money's still a bit of a delicate point, so not too keen on going for hunt kills just yet. Trying to knock this rifle out of RMU's hands is not going to matter that much in the long scheme of things anyway, as with the decimating result that we had from the previous round back in round 5, I'm imagining that the economy is already going to be at a point where RMU are relatively broken here, and that is relatively correct. We do still have an okay amount of money, though, so I think it's enough for them to be able to force behind it. It is going to be a bit lackluster, and they're actually deciding not to go for it here. They're going to take a more passive route, just keeping the M4 on AWOL, and then CZ buys for the rest of the team now. It's also a little bit of utility, and of course armor gets brought into the picture there too. Try and keep RMU competitive here. VCU not hesitating at all in this round since they're pretty confident. I think they're going to be going up against an anti-eco here. Already picking up a kill as well. Blur fighting one at underpass, but a bit sketchy though. Gets brought down to 6 HP, but still makes the job happen. And VCU are going to be able to continue to take control in mid as a result of that frag.
Yeah, RMU, obviously the economy finally catching up with them in this round. They do have Blur down very low on HP, but again, VCU are able to establish that mid-control. Again, this is like the foundation of a T-side Mirage, being able to have a player outside the A-bomb site getting intel, maybe getting a peek onto someone, have some presence in B apartments and underpass, and the rest is really making sure you're getting, push up to connector, getting under window room, just, having that launching pad into whatever site you actually want to take, just staging up, and now you do see VCU are indeed looking to hit A through connector and ramp and palace, so 3 points of entry here. Now there is a push coming from A wall, and if he flanks middle, he could cause a lot of damage, or even flanking A ramp here. If he catches the right timing, this could be very dangerous for VCU. They need to be careful.
Reality having to dodge out there. Oh, but he still ends up getting taken down by both Chaz and then Rahul was forward to find Spermy as well. AWOL is going to finally get into a good position to use this rifle, but the surprise is gone now. So the issue is on repeat. Yeah, he's going to be immediately expected by Rahul. And then AK the Virus picks up another one directly afterwards to secure the round.
You know, that flank went about as good as it could for VCU in the sense they caught it so early, and they got such clean entries on the A-bomb side itself that the flank can never really set in and have too much of an impact. So really well handled here by Virginia Commonwealth. Now they're just one round away from tying this up. And again, RMU is going to be in a force buy situation here. It's all CZs and armor, a couple of HE grenades. They are gambling here. They're going to be stacking that A bomb site, which is kind of what you have to do in a round like this to have the best chance to win. You got to do something gimmicky. Hope you can catch your opponent off guard. Hope you're in the right place. Obviously, just playing standard in a round like this, it's going to be very difficult to convert it, but this gives them some hope. But it's all about whether or not VCU heads to that area or not.
VCU are going to stick with the pattern of taking top mid control first off in the round here. As far as RMU is concerned, they really cannot contest this with just CZs in their hand. They do have two guys trying to play defense in mid, but like I said, if Welshie goes out for a direct peek here at window, he should be dead within a few seconds. The same goes for that connector player, and that's why he's playing a lot further back inside of the actual A site instead of in the connector itself in a more aggressive position. Oh, he's hiding at the box though, and he's actually not immediately seen, but the smoke really does not play into his favor in that situation. Both Lennox and Welshie, both of those mid players immediately get knocked out, and that actually turns into a cue for VCU to go to B because they suspect it's wide open, and they're correct about that.
Yeah, I mean, they caught Blur, who actually pushed through underpass. He was trying to kind of bounce off to maybe hope that was a distraction going on connector. He might be able to sneak in and grab a kill, but it was quickly picked up by Blur, rather. I think that was Welshie, the one that actually made the push and got caught. So VCU reading things appropriately here. Might find themselves a flawless victory in the 8th round and tie this thing right away. Again, this is their map pick, the map that they were 4-0 on in the regular season and online playoffs, so definitely home turf for this team. They're putting it to good use right now thus far.
Yeah, it's a pretty much instantaneous save called as soon as VCU got into the B site there. No room for Spermy Reality or able to get in and do any real damage. Even Spermy getting knocked out, trying to find a few exit kills on his own regard, just leaving Reality and AWOL alone. And this will turn into a shooting gallery for AK the Virus, but all explodes. AK does actually end up going down, and both of those CZs will remain, but again, they're really only CZs, so for the most part, it's just going to give RMU the advantage of not having to rebuy the armor, save some an extra $650 to $1,000. And now, of course, they transition into another gun round as the score gets tied up here at 4-4.
And Welshie is going to be going glass cannon this round, so that means no armor, but the AWP. So he can still be effective in this round as long as he's taking good positioning and just avoiding, giving himself out and a lot of chances for players to spray him down or something like that. Smoke's going to be up a connector, but he can easily peek over this smoke. There's another one on the back of Catwalk, so he's not going to be able to spot anyone, and he does get headshot by AK the Virus. Again, one of the more experienced players here on VCU, one of their star players next to Chaz, is making another opening for his team. That is an AWP down. Someone could still go grab it. It wouldn't be too hard to go on connector and pick it back up and get it on someone else if they so choose, but they do have to play from behind early in this round.
So VCU now going for a quick wraparound back over towards A. Still got over a minute on the clock, so no pressure against them at this point in time. And they've, once again, also already got an opening entry kill, too, against Welshie. So they're going to have an advantage pretty much anywhere they go because the CTs just fall into that kind of pitfall, splitting 2-2 by default. Lennox seems to have gotten a read on something because of this deep push from AWOL into the apartments, not spotting anything there. So he's going to early rotate, not fully, though, only over to window for now, but he's still in a great position to help out the rest of his team on this execute. So at least they'll have 3 guys here to try to put a stop to it. But nonetheless, VCU on the way out. They got another perfect smoke set up, and it doesn't look like RMU are going to be resisting this too much. No, they actually do get aggressive. They push back out. Lennox and Reality picking up kills left and right. AK the Virus along with Sieges are the last 2 left standing here for the T side now, and Sieges gets a good trade. Brings it back down to a more palatable situation. They still have to try and find room to plant the bomb, though. That's probably going to be the most difficult part of this.
There's also a flank now coming in on A-ramp, as you can see here from AWOL. But AK the Virus, he does get one on the Spermy, but again, AWOL slithering his way into the site. And like I said, the bomb's still down, and it's only 10 seconds. They have to scramble to get this bomb, and as soon as they do, it's going to open up that window for AWOL to come in. He does get the kill. Really well done by RMU. And the thing you got to point out on that round is, good smoke stairs and jungle, standard stuff, you need those. But a lot of teams will push that jungle smoke, and that's why usually you see teams will also throw a Molotov next to the smoke to stop a push through it. But they didn't. They kind of, went a little bit conservative on that regard and opened up a way for RMU into the site. And now they keep the lead.
So RMU maintain that control. Now to try and shut down the T-set economy. This top mid push is going to come in once again from VCU. Pretty much just storming right in on this round as well, not trying to hesitate on like they did on the previous round and waited out a bit. Blur as well just misses an opportunity to take down the CT-sided with the window player. So he's going to be able to escape outside. That's AWOL making out. Same story for Lennox as he just barely escapes fate here. Down to 16 HP as he backs up over onto Cat and is now going to hide inside of the ladder room.
Yeah, I mean, VCU's not doing anything crazy. Like, they've been basically going for the same mid-control time and time again. And RMU has been a little bit, varied in how they approach it. Sometimes they'd like to just push mid and attack it. Sometimes they just try to play the sites and defend. Their aggression has usually been caught on to. And now Linux is caught inside the window. So VCU, again, another 5-on-4 advantage. Can they convert this time? Last round they had this and were unable to close. And that's why RMU are back ahead. But still, a lot of map control and plenty of time.
Time's going to become less plentiful, though, over the next couple of seconds. The Reality successfully able to hold off the Lurker, trying to push into the A site. AWOL's got an advanced position. He's going to know about Apartment's pressure moving back in. However, he might have given himself away a little bit too early. Nope, takes down the Operate and the bomb to follow it back up. It's a quick 2-kill coming out from RMU. And while their 2 other teammates are going to be able to move into the site, rotates are on the way. They still have Apartments and, most importantly, bomb control. That'll change now. However, maybe not. Chaz, now the last man standing with like 20 seconds left. He's got to find this kill on Welshi, but he's got a health disadvantage. And now as well, he's looking the wrong way, but I think Welshi fired off a couple shots there, gave away the position.
He's got to go back and get the bomb, though. Now he has to go for the kill. There's no time to go get the bomb. And smartly, Welshi tucks in, hides, and he'll get the round for his team. Well played by Welshi, playing the time.
Welshi might actually be able to get Chaz here, too, if he picks out just a little bit more. And in fact, he does. That's a massive kill going out against Chaz, as that is going to prevent him from picking up any additional money. And you can see he's going to be left a little bit behind the rest of his teammates as a result of that.
Yeah, indeed. Good play there from AWOL inside the B Apartments, getting into that forward position and getting 2 kills, including the bomb down. And remember, that's the B Apartment player's dead, so the player that pushed Cat had to go back and get the bomb. There was low time, so that really became a problem for VCU. And now they're going to have to take a save.
It seemed like VCU, after they lost those 2 players, they did still have a chance to recover it. They took pretty good site control after the fact, but the problem was they weren't trading appropriately, didn't really have time to set their players up to trade appropriately. And as a result of that, while they did get someone in the Apartments to retrieve the bomb, he got taken out by one of the guys that was inside a market, and that's what ended up having to force Chaz to try and go for the bomb, and that was the point where there was really no coming back for VCU, sadly, unless Chaz is able to get that final kill quickly enough.
And now another save here for VCU. They were successful in getting a bomb plant last time around. They actually almost got the round. They got into a 1v1, but no such chance this time, as it is the cleanup crew of RMU here coming in with the bomb. Still might go down. No, Rahu was close, but well, she will put a stop to that. And so RMU are now on a 3-round winning streak, finally starting to gain back some control of this half. But VCU, despite the fact they didn't get a plant, which would have provided a chance for an AWP, for example, are still able to get a full AK by here.
As well, picking up 2 nice Deagle kills, the only kills that we see in that round from VCU, but overall RMU shutting it down. Welshi gets a nice little anti-eco 4K for himself. Oh, that's a great nade to open it up too. Misses the player in the back, but he just gets it pretty heavily for about a third of his health.
And Linux again getting aggressive here inside the ladder room. They also have 2 players in connectors, so they may be looking to take some early fights out here in middle, try to deny some of that mid control that VCU has taken time and time again. This has been pretty much the same opening every round from VCU. They haven't really strayed away from this start. And why not? I mean, they've been so successful in taking it. If it wasn't for the fact that RMU won those early rounds, they had a 4-1 lead, remember. Since the guns have come out, VCU's actually done pretty well with this mid control and turning it into victories.
So VCU still going to hold solidly in mid, kind of resting on their laurels here for a second. They've been able to take control, mainly trying to fish out anyone else from the CT side that remained back here.
What?
Oh, what?
How does that happen? You hate to see it. You really do.
Did he walk in
Even
front
though we
of him, I
didn't
guess?
see it, you hate to see it on the kill notification.
Oh, and even worse, Lennox just walks out and kills the other guy. So that's going to be Siege's ending up going down back by the chair position. We did see 1 trade against RMU, but besides that, VCU really do not have a whole lot to work off of here at this point.
No, they definitely don't. They have a little bit of utility, but Chaz is so low on HP, and there's a rotation coming in from RMU through market. 2 players now will join the third AWOL, who's holding a really nasty angle. Not many people check this, but he actually fades off of it. But again, he has, you know, a teammate with him. Good chance to defend this.
They're kind of bundled up, though. They've got a, yeah, here we go. Now they're moving just a little bit, but AWOL's going to get caught off guard. They're already back out on the catwalk. He goes down immediately. Lennox now alone and at low HP. Picks up a quick kill and catches AK the Virus without a gun out. Chaz left alone again, but sub 10 seconds, and Welsh's waiting for him this time. So he'll knock him out, and RMU get up to 8.
Yeah, I feel like VCU starting to get a little bit too hesitant in some of these rounds. We've seen a lot of rounds come down to, oh, there's only 10 seconds left and you don't have the bomb planted yet. And that obviously causes a lot of problems because if one little thing goes wrong, you don't have time to win the round even. So I feel like they need to pick up the pace just a little bit at least. You know, decide on the bomb site and get in there maybe with at least 30 seconds left, not 10. You're really counting it down. But Welshie getting aggressive with AWP against a saving Virginia Commonwealth, and it's another cleanup round from RMU, it looks like. So far, no trouble lining up the kills in this one, but AK the Virus does fire back.
Manages to pick up an M4 in the process as well, so now he's got himself armed up a little bit better. He's got armor too, so he's not going to worry about the usual issues of aim punch that would associate with picking that up on an eco round. Chaz still trying to sneak in from his position as well, but he's going to have a little bit of a tougher time, especially if he doesn't end up getting support from AK the Virus on the execute.
And AWOL, again, he's been holding these aggressive angles on B apartments quite often. He's been usually pretty successful. So it might catch Chaz off guard, especially if Chaz is focused on this market player.
And AWOL again, all he's going to do, yeah, it's just a casual walkout kill. Oh, a nice swing from Chaz, though. I don't know if that came from Chaz or AK the Virus, but AWOL almost losing his life in that situation. Regardless, though, AK the Virus is left alone, but he was the one with the bomb. He makes a quick judgment decision to swing this over to A, and that'll guarantee him a plant at minimum.
Yeah, he should be getting this plant. He can't really know for sure that he's safe to do it, but he knows he needs to go ahead and risk it now, and he does get it. He's got the M4, and he does have armor, so there is some hope that he could pull off this clutch. But it's going to be hard.
Quickly, however, RMU wrap onto that. And AK the Virus will take a position over by Ticket to try and give himself the best angle to win out this 1v3. CT's wasting a lot of time rotating it, but they immediately pick up a lot of damage on it. AK the Virus upon spotting him, and it's not too much of an effort beyond that to finish him off either. Spermy is the one that gets the honor, as well as the defuse. RMU continuing to push forward, now on a 5-round streak at their 9th round total.
Yeah, and what's really hurting VCU right now, by the way, is, you know, Chaz, who's normally one of their best players, is actually really struggling to get up there next to AK the Virus and put the frags up on the board that they're used to seeing out of him. He had ridiculous ADR stats throughout the regular season and online playoffs, so hopefully Chaz can come alive for VCU here, help them at least get these last 2 rounds and keep this close. Meanwhile, RMU's doing everything you'd want out of them, right? I mean, they had the good early start. Yeah, they allowed a few rounds, but now they've got another 4-round winning streak rolling. They could really close this half of double digits. Here comes that A attack, so it is a change of pace from VCU.
Big push as well. Blur looking to hold off the line. Spermy is going to be able to burn out Sieges in the back line, but AK the Virus saving the day once again here for his team, and Chaz finally coming in to connect to the CTs. Didn't have anyone watching it, so he's able to just bulldoze right through the opera that was causing problems previously. Now it's just AWOL 1v4. However, a potentially winnable one when you look at the HPs for VCU. He's just going to try and find a way to get past Ticket here. That's his biggest obstacle.
Gets spotted as he tried to jump on the box and look over the smoke, and rather than linger around, he wants to try to save, but he might get cut off here at the murder hole, but Chaz will indeed do it. He gets 2 kills on the round, so we talk about him, and then he comes out with a multi-frag round, so there you go. You can thank me. I indirectly helped there, I feel like. Reverse Caster's curse. Just Caster support. Now we have a 9-5 score. 1 round left in the half. So a chance for VCU to get this within striking distance. You get 6 rounds here, you win pistol second half, all of a sudden you're on a way to tying the game back up. So nice to see them change it up. We were talking about how they've been hesitant through some of those rounds in the middle of the half, but that time they just go for a quick A attack and it works. And now they have RMU on a pretty low buy, and it looks like they're going to go for a fast attack again, so this could really work out nicely, though there are 3 players here in the A site defending.
And overall, VCU still holding back over here at the bottom of A ramp, looking for their way to get up to the site. They've kept the lurkers somewhere in the B halls as well, just to try and watch out if anyone from RMU tries to get hyper aggressive.
And I mean, remember, Welshie has flanked through this area like 2 or 3 times this game, so I think that they are smart to be keeping someone over there to pick up on this.
VCU waiting for their chance to get back out. They get a good flash opening, and it catches Welshie in the open as well. He goes down right from the get-go. Lennox is run over after the fact as well. And reality is run right past him at Sandwich. Spermy tries to reverse it. He even gets 2 kills. The sad part is was locked into that molly and couldn't escape it. Chaz takes him down before he's able to get out of dodge, leaving AWOL alone again. A 1v3 now set before him, but they did not get the bomb inside just yet. So he's able to push forward, now drops the bomb, fails to account for the Palace player, however. So Rahul will end it and bring the scoreline to 9-6 at halftime.
Yeah, so really well done there by VCU in the end to get a couple of more rounds and keep this thing a tight race. RMU, though, throughout the half played really well. You could see that after losing Pistol, they were on a really good roll there, but those last 2 rounds make a world of difference for VCU. AK the Virus topping the boards. No surprise there. Linux, also no surprise, he's topping the board for the RMU side. He has been really good for them throughout the regular season, but really there was no one lacking on that team most of the half. I'd say Spermie's a little bit lower than what you'd expect, but all in all, not too shabby from either side. I think both sides are like a neutral feeling about that half. They're not going to feel super excited like they didn't have a big lead, but I don't think anyone feels too far behind or too left out.
All right, well, we are going to dive right into the second half, folks. Let's take a look and see if RMU is going to be able to bring some of this momentum over onto the T side, or VCU bouncing back with those last 2 rounds. We'll be able to take things now on defense, try to bring this back and maybe take map 1 under their favor, as it is their pick after all. But let's see. RMU taking a very similar path that VCU also took on their own pistol round, straight into the back B halls, and they're going to be following it up with a faster execute outside onto the B site itself. CTs are very spread out, however. They don't have a lot of presence here, but Rahul gets the opening kill, traded back immediately, but AK the Virus successfully rotated in, still able to help out with this a little bit by taking out the mid player, keeping the numbers even at a 3v3.
Yeah, they also have AWOL on a very sneaky angle. He's like the king of sneaky angles on this team, man. Like, he pushes the aggressive market angle. Definitely could catch Chaz off guard here. They do have 2 players coming cat. There are no smokes there, so they won't be cut off, but AWOL, he controls the market now. He gets the man advantage.
We're looking for his path back inside too, but he's immediately going to be down by Welshi. Lennox finding another one as well, and that'll secure it. RMU take control of the second half pistol, and with that should be able to maintain their lead, assuming they do not get ecoed here in the second round by VCU.
Yeah, that was just a clean entry onto B. Didn't really give, VCU a lot of time to get a read on what was going on and get players in the right place at the right time. And so they will actually even force out a UMP armor on Sergis. So that's definitely a little bit different. That is not the norm if you're new to Counter-Strike. Usually you just see CZ armor is pretty common, I will say that. But yeah, UMP coming in, that is a step beyond.
So a very heavy investment from him, and that might actually catch RMU off guard a little bit when it first jumps in.
Because now first gun round, you may not be able to get an AWP, and you probably won't even get much utility, so it definitely can set you back.
We are going to see, though, Chaz picking up a nice opening kill. Tries to peek back out into the steps, but is careful not to overextend himself.
He wanted that UMP, too. He really wanted to get that second UMP, but not allowed to have it. Still a man advantage early on, though.
Lennox getting a good amount of damage off, at least on AK the Virus. That's going to hold him back for a little bit. Serve to give the T's just a tad bit more control here in the middle. Welshi did see the peek, I think, in Connector. He's waiting for his chance to actually deal some damage on it. AK the Virus is going to look to get the smoke out on window for a little bit more room to work with. Rahul, however, will get run over. Back over here on Catwalk. Welshi being the one to pick up the kill there. But again, only serving to even up the fight. Now CJ surprises with that ump, but he's unable to do anything with it. Gets taken down. Reality's cleaning up shop from the top of Van. Welshi trying to go for one more, but he can't make it happen. But with Lennox's additional kill, it's just AK the Virus left over in the 1v3 anyway, and he's stuck here in market. Sadly, not a whole lot to be done. He gets knocked out by AWOL, and it's another round for RMU at 11-6.
Yeah, RMU getting off to a good roll here. Again, though, you can't expect too much until VCU can get a little bit more cash in their pockets, which is now going to take a little bit longer because that was a heavy investment in that round, particularly that UMP. That's a little bit of a stretch. RMU now up 11-6, so they definitely hold off that early tie potential we were talking about that VCU were hoping for after they got that last 2 rounds of the first half and got it in the 9-6 score line.
Ooh, that was weird. Did you notice that right there?
No, I didn't catch it, sorry.
Well, AK the Virus walked into his top part. It didn't look like the molly had spread to it, but he still took molly damage. Ouch. So, CSGO'd.
But you can immediately see a difference, right? Like, RMU just had that swagger about them, very confident, very fast-paced Counter-Strike. I wonder if this will hold up once we get into the first buy round. It probably will, because, again, VCU probably will not have enough money for like a lot of utility, and so that means it's a little bit harder to stop fast plays.
They didn't get a massive. Oh, never mind. I'll take that back now. They didn't get a massive amount of kills either in these anti-eco rounds, so it wasn't too strong to bring them a decent economy. But the 3 kills on this round should be pretty good, forcing a lot of rebuys. That's actually going to bring most of RMU down to a pretty minimal amount of money.
Yeah, it meant no AWP in this round. It also means that utility is a little bit lacking, and if you notice, there's one big key thing missing on this VCU team. No one has a kit. And that's obviously going to play into the back of your head when you have to do some type of retake situation.
So let's take a look here and see how RMU is going to be able to fare inside of the gun round. Now it's their first chance. They've got a doubled scoreline over VCU, so plenty of opportunities, of course, to try and forge their lead forward. But VCU's got a long road, and they need to start it right here. The scoreline is getting massive in the favor of RMU. They need to try and make sure they take an advantage now. But it's not looking like it's going to start off too well for VCU. 3 kills on the entry rollout from RMU, completely wiping the slate clean on the A-bomb site. Only 1 player is traded out, and that's Welshi, who had already picked up 2 entries, so his job is done at that point. For Rahul and Cetus, they were completely on the other side of the map. Because of how quickly this execute happened, they're unable to figure out they're unable to get the intel on this, get into an appropriate position to rotate in time, and pretty much left out of the equation with no choice but to sit back, let the bomb explode, and go for a save now.
Yeah, again, it's that immediate and starking tactical difference between these two teams. RMU playing a very fast-paced Counter-Strike right now, really getting into the face of Virginia Commonwealth right away, even on a full gun round. And now the money is just so bad for the Rams over at VCU. It's going to be 13-6. They're going to maybe save 2 guns. Probably not, if we're honest. There is a hunt going on right now for these guns. And he is burning in the kitchen. It's a grease fire, and he does go down. And they just save 1 M4, and you can see the money's really low to not really be able to buy around it. But they will force up what they can. He drops his M4, buys another. They're going for it all here, really. I mean, you're in a forced buy to survive scenario for the rest of the half now, though, at VCU. And that's a dangerous place to be in.
So we can expect similar buys for the next 3 to 4 rounds, assuming RMU is able to clean them up, of course. And for RMU's strat, it's going to be pretty straightforward here as well. Pretty much everybody's walking right into the back of the halls, not even delaying once they get to the apartment side. I usually see them hold for a couple of seconds here, but this time they're going to burst right out. Cetus was ready for it, but got caught looking away due to a flashbang. So not only is he going to get destroyed, but Rahul, the other defender on this site, also gone. Pretty much the same exact situation that we saw in the previous round, only now it's the 3A players that pretty much have no choice but to go for a save, given the circumstances set against them. They need to keep some strong buys alive. Yes, they did spend all their money forcing into this one, but if they keep those rifles, specifically the ones that are sitting on Blur and Chaz alive, all right, now they can get full utility kits behind it, whereas in this round, that might not have been possible. RMU will continue to move on to the hunt as well. A-Wall, bit of an unsuspecting kill that he finds getting through the crawl space there against AK, and then another one too. Direct engagement versus Blur, but A-Wall still wins it. And now that leaves Chaz alone with the only rifle that VCU is trying to save. I think he'll make it out. No one's really close enough to find him as long as he's in peak T spawn. And yeah, he'll be good.
Yeah, this T side is clean and fast from RMU. Just keeping up the pace. And again, Virginia Commonwealth's money is in just a really bad place. They tried to force up last round. Didn't work. They're just going to keep forcing, which means mixed buys like this. You know, they only have 2 really strong rifles. You have the 1 FAMAS, 2 CZs. Good amount of utility, though, and they do have at least 1 kit. And again, CZs can be very strong, so this isn't too bad of a spot. But RMU, again, just going to go for a super fast A execute. And so far, VCU has not proven to be able to handle this.
They're going to be Blurs, just picking them off one by one. And this is actually a much better round from VCU, seemingly coming out of nowhere here. Chaz looking to pick up 1 more inside of the palace, and he succeeds. And Spermy, well, he's got nowhere to go here now. This was a great hold coming out from those A defenders. They just completely destroyed RMU's offense. And like I said, this round kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, really well defended. 3 players involved on that. Got to give a lot of credit, really, to Blur. That man really stepped up in that round. Catching that connector push. Also, to be fair, they did just try to run through a smoke at A ramp, and, you know, easy duels at that point for VCU, so they don't get away with it that time around, I guess you could say.
More so than anything, maybe a little bit of overconfidence coming out from RMU in this round. Just trying to force push smokes without appropriate flashbangs to counter it back out. Spermy will be able to at least catch Rahul. Oh, this is a plant now, too. I didn't even realize that. He'll walk right in, be able to find an opportunity to get this bomb onto the ground. Still going to be, a very tough clutch, especially when you're running out in the open reloading. That's not optimal. The smoke. Restrict his options or restrict his opponent's options. give him a little bit more room to work with, but misses the push from AK the Virus, coming back out onto the balcony, and that secures the round for VCU as they pick up their first round in this entire half out of so far 6 rounds being played out.
So VCU sneaks one in, and they pick up a couple of AKs, and they do have an AWP in play now as well. So this is maybe where they can start working themselves back to the game. But let's be real. If they get reset here and RMU gets the map point, they're going to have no real money to work with. And that's when this game's probably in the bag for the Eagles here out of Chicago, Illinois. And Chaz, though, he's trying to avoid that scenario. He gets the opening pick with the AWP here on the Linux. And that's one of the big heavy hitters from RMU already down.
Great flash from RMU going inside of Connector, but no follow-up on it. Would have had a great opportunity to knock at AK the Virus, but they don't have enough intel to push it at this time. Chaz as well, also here ready to defend it. But AK the Virus is going to take an engagement, and we'll come onto the losing end of it. Chaz needs to quickly get back over to Connector, get ready to defend this. Misses an opportunity at the cross, but the T's will just smoke it out now. So they're going to potentially look at other options.
Yeah, that's a big player to go down for Virginia Commonwealth. That's AK the Virus, one of their best players, one of the top fraggers in the server for this team. He's been vital to their success, and he's already off the board. Now, luckily, we have one player who is really low health. That's Spermy, so he's a little bit of a softer target. There's only one real A defender, though. It's Blur, but he's playing a really off angle, which means he's playing a spot that is not, you know, common when you're in T clearing the site. This is not one of the first places you're going to look, so we could certainly catch at least one player off guard for one free kill. And there it is onto AWOL, but can he get more? He's dinked another player. Now 2 players bleeding out for RMU.
They're just trying to the damage here a little bit by a little bit. Welshi and Spermy with the 2 kills from their side, however, they are able to bring it back down into a 2v2, but time is getting low. The T's need to secure this site and find their plant soon. Otherwise, we're going to start to have these lurks come back in on flank as well. You can already see one of them, Rahul, looking for a way back in, and he's actually going to drop the planter, leaving Spermy alive with only 12 HP, but he's picked up one, and now he's up against the Opner. HP's not going to matter anymore. He's going to find him back over here by Ticket, however. He's currently hiding back, but there's going to be the shot from Chaz through the box that knocks out Spermy. Keeps VCU in this fight as they pick up an 8th round. 6 to go till the tie.
We talked about how Chaz was having a quiet game. At one point, he was 6-11 as a his kill count. Now he's at 15-16, so he's really worked himself back into the black, so to speak. That's great news for this team because Chaz is usually one of their top performers next to AKA the Virus. So if he starts coming online in this half, they might have a chance to run this one back. But again, RMU Eagles have a really substantial lead, and they still have the economy to pump in another round. It's a double AWP setup from VCU. I never saw double op from RMU on their CT side, but it can be very viable on this map. But it is also very expensive, though I think maybe they might have picked up one of those AWPs, so maybe they didn't actually have to spring for it.
Chaz again waiting for his chance to get out into the fight here. He's going to miss his opening shot. A little bit of chip damage goes out against him too. Ooh, him and AK the Virus stacked up. This could be the end of the round right here. Both of them go down, leaving only Rahul alone with Siege's live. And already Siege is getting picked back off just on the other side of the crawl space, leaving only Rahul in this fight. He's already taken engagement too, so they're just going to try to push him back, force him to save, as RMU will be going up to map point.
Indeed, they will. 15-8. And remember, this is the map pick of Virginia Commonwealth. And look at that money. It is bad. It is so bad. It is like eating ramen in your dorm bad. In Counter-Strike terms, at least.
This is minimum buy, pretty much.
Oh, yeah. This is
forced together.
Yeah, it's a straight-up microwave ramen round right here.
So let's see if a miracle can happen, if VCU are going to be able to hold off with this minimal purchase coming in for them. As far as RMU is concerned, it's all in the bag. As long as they don't overextend, give too many opportunities to the CT side to sneak off kills, they're in a good spot. However, the first kill comes out from Sieges. He's going to be able to find one. Blur with a second as well. And now we have RMU going for the push inside. Great shot from Reality on the move, but it still doesn't stop him. He finally takes down Sieges, brings us into a 3v3. Chaz is going to be caught by AWOL, still sneaking back outside of T-Spawn. And that leaves just Blur and AKA the Virus in this fight. AKA, it's a good opener against his opponent there at top of the steps, but Spermy comes out on top of it and now brings it down to just Blur.
Yeah, it's all on him. 1v2. He gets one headshot. Ooh, catches a little bit more damage. Gets another kill. Oh, so close, but not quite. And so there you have it. RMU steal the map pick away from VCU. So they're up in the series 1-0. And just really good handling the chaos. And then they lose 2 players early in the round. They're in a 3 versus 5. It's looking a little bit dangerous, but they kind of just, they sit back, they wait patiently, they wait for the pushes to come, and they get it into a winning position. So hats off to the Eagles there. as expected, they were the favorites in this series, and they're proving that in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Spermy having to play his teammate a little bit there towards the end, sacrificing him, but it was all in a good cause to be able to quickly re-peek back out from the site and pick up that kill to finalize the map. So they will go up 1-0, not only taking the lead, but stealing their opponent's map pick, which should serve to give them a pretty hefty advantage going into our second map soon, which is going to be over on Train. And of course, that is going to put VCU up against the wall. They've only got one chance left to save themselves. Otherwise, the final, sadly, will not be in their future. Do stick with us, guys, as we are going to be coming back with that second map in just a little bit. We do have a quick break first, so we'll be returning in just a little bit. Once again, it's VCU up against RMU here at the CSL Semifinals for 2018.